Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sakura Unboxing. So, welcome to another 2-month haul. I am trying to kind of do this all in one sitting, which is a little bit stressful, but I kind of want to get this filming out of the way at least to edit, and to hopefully get you guys these videos at a reasonable time. So, welcome to now my February and March haul. I do have quite a bunch of figures to go through. Definitely, I feel like not as much as December and January, so hopefully this would be a little bit like quicker filming in a way, but without further ado, let us get started. So before of course I get into this video, I'm going to quickly pop up my costs for the month, and I did have some areas that I had to ship single shipment, just a big figure, 1/4 that I got that I shipped by itself, and then the rest I pretty much shipped all together. So I'm gonna start off with actually a figure that got, pushed a couple of times, and it finally released in February of 2023. And I actually did get this off of Tokyo Otaku Mode, so I'm gonna start with that one first. Now before I get into that, Tokyo Otaku Mode, they do include clear files with their orders, which I think are very nice overall, and the clear files do include your receipt. So yeah, I do like collecting clear files, and because it's pretty much a sort of nice quality sort of art piece overall. It kind of gives me an incentive to pre-order more off of Tokyo Otaku Mode. So now we're moving on to the figure itself, which unfortunately it closed on Ami by the time I saw it, so I decided to pick it up, of course, Tokyo Otaku Mode, and it is of this character right here. So yes, I have this giant box, a lot bigger than I thought it would be, and this is the Azur Lane Ying Sui 1/7 complete figure by Neon Max. So overall, another clear plastic box that I have, extremely large just because of what she comes with. The back, which has the Azur Lane logo on there, and then lastly, a single picture of the figure right there. So yeah, pretty big overall box, and unfortunately this has just been out by itself because I can't really store it in any of my other Ami like corporate boxes because it just takes up so much room. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find a spot for this. It definitely takes up a lot of space at the end of the day. But now, let us get onto the figure herself. So here is the gorgeous Ying Sui, if I can face her in the right direction. But yeah, I love just the aesthetic to this character, and I do like the sort of multicolored hair. I really do like that. And overall, I think she is fantastically done detail-wise, paintwork-wise. This is definitely a gorgeous figure by Neon Max. But yeah, this is actually my first figure from them. I did originally have the Moist figure pre-ordered from them, but I canceled her just to kind of save some money a little bit, and I'm overall impressed with Neon Max so far. And all the detail on her is printed very well, the coloring is very well done, and yeah, all of the detail is just fantastic, and just I like how dynamic this looks with the sort of scroll and ink that it's going for. Now, assembling this figure, it was alright, I'd say. There are definitely a whole bunch of fragile parts. I have seen people say that they did sort of snap some of these leaves off of these bamboo from being a little bit too, forceful with it. And, this little torpedo right here, it can actually spin a little bit, but it does have a plastic rod, and you do kind of have to be careful with this because you could smack it and you could break the peg. And the one part that I had a lot of trickiness with, I guess, is the one bamboo that goes into the base. It was just kind of a weird angle, and, I really had to force that in. Thankfully, I didn't break anything on this figure, which was good, but it's definitely one, again, to take your time with. But I think, absolutely gorgeous. I love this character design overall. And again, Neon Max, fantastic job so far with their figures, and I do have actually her sister on pre-order right now, so I'm excited to pick her up, and some other Neon Max figures that they come out with in the future I am very much looking forward to. So now we're moving on to Ami Ami, and of course I will quickly show up, of course, my costs for the month, which, you know, I had to kind of separate some orders. One of them was a 1/4 that I just decided to ship separately, and one of them was single shipment, and then the other ones I put together, so yes. And before we get into the figures themselves, I want to show off a little merch item that I decided to pick up. So yes, another clear file. We have another one of these Spy X family clear files that is very cute. I love the outfits they have. They have the Argyle, I believe that's the pattern that they're going for, and you even have Bond in this, and he just looks so happy and adorable. So yes, I of course got this clear file with the whole family all together, which I do like, and yeah, so super cute, inexpensive, and you know, happy to add this to my clear file collection. So now we're moving on to the first scale figure, and it is another Fire Emblem figure, and the most recent one to come out, and it is of this character right here. So yes, we have right here the Fire Emblem Byleth 1/7 complete figure by Intelligent Systems. Now, kind of a little bit weird front with just like this like small opening right here. If I can get a good angle, the original artwork for the figure, which I do love to see for these Fire Emblem figures. After that, just some stuff on the back with the optional parts that she comes with. Another little extra window on the side, and then the top, which is nothing special. So, yeah. Kind of, I don't know, I feel like these boxes are a little bit weird. They're maybe a smidge plain, but I feel like, you know, the artwork on the side kind of helps, but yeah. But now I'll get into the figure herself. So yes, we have Byleth right here, and I do have her with the creator sword in its whip form, and assembly-wise, it's pretty easy. You know, you just put her on the base, you put the creator sword of your choosing into her hand, and she also does have a little sort of blue dagger right there that you just have to put into her side. And yeah, I overall really like the look of this figure and just, you know, the optional parts that she comes with. And at first I thought she was kind of small, but then, you know, I put her next to Lynn and I kind of eyed the two together, and, you know, I feel like she is, you know, relatively like a 1/7 overall. And yeah, what's kind of weird is that the hand is actually has like a little ball joint to it, so you can like pose this any way you want, but be warned that it does kind of pop out easily, so, you know, take your time while you're sort of twisting the hand to get the creator sword the way you want it to look. So yeah, overall, I really do like this Byleth figure overall. Not sure aftermarket-wise how much she is. Ami Ami's, she is 156 USD, which I think is, you know, maybe could have been a little bit less, but, you know, considering the optional parts, that's an extra cost. And I am aware that the Fire Emblem series of figures are getting more expensive. Obviously, there's the Roy and Lalina. They're $200 each, obviously base price. And then there's Veronica, who is like pretty much the same price as them. And, you know, I really hope that Intelligent Systems doesn't like keep going with this trend of rising their figure prices to like 250, maybe even 300, because I don't know if I'll keep pre-ordering those figures. I'll have to see how future figures they put up for pre-order cost, you know, and maybe I can pick them up on the aftermarket for relatively like a lower price, because, you know, I have seen with these that they have, you know, stayed the same or have gone down, so that's just something to think about in the future for this line of figures. So now we're moving on to the next figure, which is, I believe, the second 1/4 freeing figure that I have shown on this channel, and it is this one right here. So right here we have the B-style Taiga Aisaka Taiga version 1/4 figure by Freeing. So kind of a controversial figure when it first went up, you know, for pre-order and such, because of the window between the bunny version and this one. Obviously, I never pre-ordered that original Taiga bunny, and, you know, I guess I don't feel angry about it as much as some other people, but I can definitely understand how ridiculous it is just to release, you know, maybe a little bit of a better version of, you know, this figure. you know, one that maybe more people would like more than the bunny version. And yeah. So, you know, standard freeing cardboard box, you know, pretty big. Actually, yeah, you know, it's not too big overall, I'd say, but yeah. I pre-ordered this because I do like the way this figure looked, and, you know, I thought, hey, it's Tiger, it's like, it could be Year of the Tiger, I'm Year of the Tiger, so I thought that'd be kind of cute to get. That's kind of maybe a ridiculous reason to pre-order this figure, but I thought it was just, you know, interesting in concept, so I'll pick her up right now. So yes, here is the freeing Taiga version. And overall, you know, I feel like, personally speaking, from one person who hasn't bought the original bunny, I really do like how she looks. Now, I'm aware that, you know, people had a bunch of paint defects on theirs. Thankfully, I didn't really see any on mine for the most part. And, you know, I overall really like the cute, like, roaring expression in a way. And, you know, it's kind of nice that they textured the ears and such to make them look like fur. I guess, you know, the one thing maybe I would have liked to see more is maybe more shading on the bunny suit itself. Now, obviously I have the Ryuko Matoi B-style, and I do like these sort of gold hints that one has on the bunny suit. But this one is pretty flat overall, which is a little bit disappointing. And also, if you saw it from the box and looking at the tights that she has, on the promo pictures the tights are a lot darker. And this one, it's like pretty much like the same as on the original Taiga bunny version, which is unfortunate. I think I would have liked them to go for sort of the darker tights overall. And the last part that's a little bit unfortunate is that if you go to like the back of her where the tail comes out, there is some cracking on her hair, like where it sort of splits at the one point. I might point it out in some B-roll so you guys know what I'm talking about. But you know, they made that gap for the tail, but I guess they didn't make it large enough, so they tried to just shove it through, and that ended up just expanding the plastic and just having it crack. It's not too noticeable on mine, but for some people's it could be worse. So yeah, definitely some like nitpicks like close up with this figure, but at a distance I think she looks pretty good. And the last big thing I want to point out that I thankfully saw in someone else's video, the base is a fingerprint magnet. That is the best way I can describe it. That's why I'm kind of holding it like this. So when you're handling this figure, don't put your fingertips straight on the top of the base because it's going to be a hot mess that you'll notice, and I'm not too sure what you could use to clean that off in a way. So yeah, just be careful when doing that so you don't have disgusting fingerprints all over your plain black reflective base. But yeah, overall, I mean, I don't feel obviously as much hatred towards this figure as some other people did who, you know, obviously bought that Taiga bunny. And, you know, I think she's super cute overall, so yeah. I'm overall, you know, pretty happy, I'd say, to have her in my collection. So now the second to last figure we have right here is a very cute one, a pretty inexpensive figure, and, you know, I had to pick this up for the theme for the figure, and it is this one right here. So right here, it might be hard to see, but we have this absolutely small and adorable box, and this is the Minahoshi-chan complete figure by Ribos. So there isn't really a scale to this one, but, you know, it's nice and small, it's adorable. I had to pick her up because she does have a sweets theme to her, in a way, and I'm like, okay, I'm picking you up. Plus, she is only, right now, as I'm looking at this on AmiAmi, she is $81.19. Ribos is known mostly for their pretty inexpensive, like, for the most part it seems like under 100 USD figures, which I think is fantastic, and I really do love the characters that they pick for them. So yeah, I also want to kind of pick her up for the design because it's very unique and different, obviously the sweets theme, and I'll pick her up right now. So yes, here she is, absolutely tiny and small but so cute. And overall, again, a fantastic job done by Ribos. I feel like they're slowly becoming one of my favorite figure manufacturers just for, like, at least, you know, their character selection and just overall quality, I'd say. And this one is no exception. She's absolutely adorable. I love the pose that she's in and just the, also, parts that she comes with. She does come with interchangeable hands that you can display her with. I like displaying her, of course, with the cake, and she also comes with a alternate cute faceplate, which is absolutely adorable. And she also comes with like a cute little rabbit and squirrel little companions, and also a sort of sign that's there. I guess like sort of a sign to like a bake shop that maybe she owns or something, but I love her so much. She's nice and small, won't take up too much space, and you know, I don't know how like aftermarket wise if you can get her for cheaper, but you know, I guess I'm happy with any figure that's like under 100 USD. And yeah, I will mention though that the squirrel that she comes with, he's a little bit side heavy on his left side, and I'm not sure, like I have to kind of like balance him a little bit, so I'm not sure when I do the B-roll how, if he's gonna like tip over and hopefully doesn't crash to the floor or anything, because I would be upset. But yeah, overall, super duper cute character design, and you know, for 100 USD, I feel like you can't go wrong, and you know, I'm happy with what she comes with. And so yeah, Ribos, I just love their character selection and quality so far. And now we're moving on to the last figure of the month, and it's one I did another review on a while back, and it is this lovely figure right here. So right here we have the Fate Grand Order Saber Katsushika Hokusai 1/7 figure by Good Small Company, and you know, overall I love Hokusai's design. I thought this figure looked absolutely gorgeous for, you know, overall just colors, scheme, and design. So I decided to pick her up, and yeah, I did obviously a review on her, and there were a lot of struggles along the way, but I'm glad nothing went south completely on that one. So yes, I'll pick her up right now. So yes, here she is in all of her glory. What can I say, but this design is just fantastically done. I love all the colors and patterns on her, and you know, she does definitely feel a lot smaller than a 1/7. I'm not too sure again if it's because she's a small character or something, but I feel like just the overall design sort of makes up for it, and you know, I think it's fantastically done overall for this character. So again, aftermarket wise, she is retail and even a bit lower than that, so if you want to pick her up for, you know, less than what she costs retail, I highly recommend looking around, because this is an absolutely gorgeous version of Hokusai, and if you're a big fan of her, I definitely recommend picking her up, because she is just absolutely gorgeous and definitely a very standout and colorful figure in my collection. So I apologize for the continuity change a little bit, but I didn't get the chance to record my March haul, and you know, the weather is now warmer, so I got my short sleeves on, so it feels pretty nice actually. And yeah, so we're moving now on to March of 2023, which has to be the least stressful month figure-wise and financial-wise. And yeah, so I had pretty much like a bunch of small items, which was nice. So overall, I had 2 merch items, 2 Nendoroids, 1 Nendoroid doll, and 1 scale figure. So we'll actually get started with the merch right now. So starting off right here, we have this adorable Waddle Dee Clearfile from the Kirby series. One of the cutest characters I've ever seen for a character with just some big old cute eyes and no mouth. I really love how cute Waddle Dee is. So yeah, I picked this up because it was in stock on AmiAmi and was, you know, very cheap overall for a Clearfile. The problem with when I ordered it was at the end of February, and I thought it was going to be put as a March order, but it wasn't, and I already had my February orders shipped out. And yeah, so I had to contact AmiAmi about this and say, hey, can you guys put this as a March order just so I don't have to pay a lot of shipping or so for just a flat item like this? And, you know, they said, yeah, we can do this as a freebie. So yeah, thankfully, you know, I was able to put this as a March order. And yeah, what I recommend doing is if you see an in-stock item on AmiAmi and it's like the end of the month and you already had your other orders shipped out, I recommend waiting until like the beginning of the next month, so then you can just, you know, order it then and just combine it with your next month's orders, and that, you know, you don't have to bother customer service about it so much. And yeah, so, you know, thankfully at the end of the day they let me do that and I didn't have to probably pay a stupid amount of shipping for this. And yeah, overall, you know, I'm happy to have this in my clear file collection. So here we have the last merch item, which is a Shikishi board from, well, Heaven's Official's Blessing of Shi Lian and Hua Chong. And yeah, it's a pretty nice quality Shikishi board overall. And if I go like, yeah, very, very sturdy Shikishi board. It's pretty thick overall. And yeah, I just saw the artwork. I think it was gorgeous, so I decided to order this. It'd be nice to have also like a Shikishi board collection. Overall, love the artwork. Very nice. Two handsome long-haired boys. Yeah, so very glad I was able to pick this up. So we're going to be jumping into the figures, and we're starting off with the Nendoroid Nezuko Kamado Demon Form Advancing version. I believe it's also called Demonization version, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I ordered this quite a while ago when it went up for pre-order, and the box is pretty simple. I do like the pink that they used, and it does have the, I guess, vine tattoos on the box, which shows up in Nezuko's demon form, which I think is a nice touch overall. Yeah, fairly standard Nendoroid box overall. So this was a Good Small online shop exclusive, so you can get this off of the US website or the global website, and I got it off of the US website at the time. So yeah, I got this, and you know, another Demon Slayer Nendoroid for the collection, and this actually came with a little bonus that I'll quickly show off right now. So right here we have a bonus stand that came with any Good Small shop item orders. So this is in celebration of Nendoroid number 2000, and basically Good Small, they just threw in a random colored base into your order. So I'll pop up on screen the different colors you could have gotten. So I got this pretty nice blue one, and I think it would have been cool if I got the pink one to go with the Nezuko, but it's not like I'm not going to be displaying these with any of my Nendoroids. So yeah, it's, you know, I'll show it off in some like B-roll a little bit, but it's, you know, it's not going to be used with any of my Nendoroids. But I think it's overall, you know, a cute little extra item you can get if you ordered from, you know, Good Small's online shop. And, you know, I feel like if you like collecting Nendoroid stands, then this is a nice little bonus to have. So yeah, here she is. I do kind of have her held by her hair because she kept wanting to fall off her base, which was a little bit annoying. It wasn't a tight fit. So yeah, that's a little bit of an issue. And, you know, overall, the look of her, she's pretty well done overall. I think the applications to her eyes, like the veins and, you know, the sort of vine tattoos, I guess, like around her body, they're very clean. I didn't notice any, like, mishaps with that. Or mishaps with the paint in general, for the most part, from what I'm seeing. And yeah, I think she's pretty cool looking Nendoroid overall. And if you're a big Nezuko fan, you know, it'd be nice to pick this up for if you have a Nezuko collection. But yeah, I guess the other gripe I have with that is her arms, like up where her shoulder area is. It's not the sort of normal straight peg that they use. They kind of put a shape in. When I do the B-roll, I'll probably show you guys. It's a little bit annoying because of how short it is, so this arm right here just keeps wanting to pop off, so yeah. Other than that, you know, I feel like she's pretty nice overall for a little Nendoroid, and yeah, so I'll of course show off more of what she has in the B-roll. So here we have the Nezuko Kamado Demonization version. So I'd say this is a, you know, good Nendoroid overall, but there's nothing too extravagant about it. I guess some of my favorite parts overall are definitely the faceplates. They are very unique and well done. And yeah, I feel like there's nothing else really too exciting about this Nendoroid. It's just, you know, one to just add to my Demon Slayer Nendoroid collection. So she is very bare with accessories. The two, I guess, standout ones are definitely the pink flame parts and the kicking leg with a sort of swishing effect to it. Now, the other issue I had with this Nendoroid is definitely the left arm because of the way they decided to not make it an actual peg, which it does come off pretty easily if you knock it, so I'd be careful about that. And the other one is the peg that plugs into her back is absolutely loose and it is god-awful. I'd actually recommend getting maybe a Nendoroid easel stand in this case, and I actually got one of my extra Nendoroid dolls that had a spare peg, and that had a much tighter fit overall, so yeah. It sucks that, you know, this figure is not the best to pose unless you have an extra Nendoroid peg, so yeah. I'm gonna actually show off that useless peg right here. I guess it's because it's like rounded and such, but yeah, absolutely useless, and I just keep it with her other accessories. Now we're moving on to actually my Ami orders, and we're gonna start off with the one Nendoroid I ordered from there, and that is the Hololive Nakiri Ayame Nendoroid. So this is actually my first Hololive Nendoroid, and when I first saw her design, I thought it was very cool. The Oni design I think is super nice, and I also really like her outfit overall. I think I'm kind of a sucker for blacks and reds, so yeah. I decided to pick this up because, you know, again, I like the character design, and, you know, I kind of wanted a cheaper figure of her overall. So yeah, I know that there's, you know, Kotobuki is making a scale of her, but I just didn't want to invest in the scale, and there is, I think, a pop-up parade of her as well, but I think I wanted a more poseable figure and such. So yeah, overall, you know, love the design, and yeah, so I'll pick her up right now. So here we have the Nendoroid herself, and I think she looks very cute in this form. Some little issues I did see now that I'm looking at her a bit up close is that I do notice like some paint issues. I do notice that there's a little bit of gold leaking onto like the black sleeve right here, and also like on the red sort of belt area, like above, I guess, the green belt. I'm not too sure what they're called. Yeah, there's like some like black, or they just didn't paint it all the way, which is kind of a shame. Yeah, and even like the ribbon, like the bow on her back that's made of like a rope, I am noticing that the paint is kind of sloppy there as well. So yeah, there's like some issues, like if you look at her up close, unfortunately like the paint isn't perfect online. So yeah, the gradient on her hair I think is very well done. I don't notice it being like a very like rough sort of like airbrush job on it, which I think is very nice. And I do think her facial expressions are absolutely adorable, and I do like her eyes. They're very well detailed, even though you really can't tell from, you know, the facial expression that I have her in. But yeah, very cute. I also like how these have like Hololive figures have these customizable bases, which is nice. I just probably be careful when displaying these, you know, with the Nendoroid on them, because if you accidentally like rub the foot against the base, you might leave a mark, so that's just something to be careful about. Also, I do kind of have her with her little companion. I don't know what they're called. I don't watch Hololive, so I don't really know the lore of this character, but you know, I'm overall just happy to kind of have this, as, you know, because I really like the design. And I'll show off more of her accessories now in the B-roll. So here we have the Nakiri Ayame Nendoroid, and I have to say she is very cute as a Nendoroid. I really, of course, like her outfit design. I think that's a highlight for this figure, as well as, of course, the character design in general. And the gradient on her hair, I have to say, is very well done. It's not sloppily, it's like a very nice, smooth gradient. So, accessory-wise, she does have these two swords, which I think are very nice. I do like these sort of metallic purple and red that they used for it. They also do have one where they're in her sheets, and you can actually attach it to her back. Her facial expressions, I think, are very cute overall, and I really like her eyes. I think they're just very nice coloring overall, and the little sculpted fang is absolutely adorable. She also does come with this little companion, who I'm not too sure what exactly they are, but, you know, also a cute little addition. Now, this Nendoroid isn't perfect at all, and I have to say, there were a whole bunch of paint defects on mine, which is very unfortunate. So, like, I have one in the sleeve, and yeah, this is like the first Nendoroid I have gotten where there have been a whole bunch of paint defects, which is unfortunate, because again, I really like the outfit, and they just did a very sloppy job overall on mine. There's some gold on the black sleeve, the ribbons are pretty sloppily painted, so yeah. This is the first Nendoroid I've gotten where the paint has been, like, awful, so that's quite disappointing, I have to say. Obviously, if you look up close, you'll see it. And yeah, so I hope this figure will bin at least, so if you are interested in pick it up, you can pick it up, and hopefully you don't get one with a whole lot of paint defects like mine has. So right here we have actually the first Nendoroid doll that I pre-ordered and have received, and this is the Hatsune Miku date outfit version. So yeah, very cute design overall. I really love just the design of the clothing that they chose to give her. Yeah, and it's very nice, and I do like the backpack and choker that she comes with. I think that's a neat touch as well. And box overall, I think is very cute. I really do like the pink that they used for this. And this is basically a regular Nendoroid box, they just don't have a window to the figure, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I really do like Nendoroid dolls. I would like to pick more up in the future just for the clothing and designs. So yeah, and now I'll grab Miku herself. So here we have the doll herself, and I have to say she is absolutely adorable overall. And yeah, I really do love this design and how it came out. So yeah, since this is my first Nendoroid doll, I looked at the instructions and it did say that you do kind of have to be careful with wearing the clothes on for a long time because it could stain like the body itself or the areas. And I feel like that's going to be mostly with the black, so like on the skirt maybe, or the hat even. You know, I haven't seen anything about it yet, but yeah, I'm in love with this whole Nendoroid doll. I think the overall intricacy in the clothing for such a small scale I think is very well done. And yeah, I guess some issues people might have with Nendoroid dolls is that the fact that they only come with one faceplate, so you could swap that faceplate out for like from other Nendoroids, but you won't get like other faceplates in like the same style as what this Miku has, you know, in different expressions, which is unfortunate. And I didn't have too much of a hard time assembling with her with the clothes. You're basically kind of just dressing up a doll. It does have some Velcro for the skirt and even her top. I'm not too sure what it's called. The hat kind of gave me some issues, and it was mostly because I had to take out the pigtails, but I couldn't get the ball joint out of the actual head itself. I did eventually, but it required a lot of force too. It's a very tight fit. And the hat itself, it's not really flush on the head like in some of the promo pictures. The promo pictures don't make it that noticeable that like there's like it's kind of sticking up a little bit, which is a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, I mean, until you look up close and such, but I wish that, you know, it was a little bit more flush to the head. But yeah, other than that, she also comes with, of course, some different hand poses, which I think is a nice touch. I, for some reason, didn't think she would come with other hand poses. And yeah, so, you know, I'll also show off more of what she has, you know, for how little accessories she does actually have in the B-roll. So here we have the Hatsune Miku date outfit version, and I have to say, this is a overall fantastic Nendoroid doll, and I'm so happy to have her in my collection. All of her clothing is so well made. I don't notice any loose seams or rips or tears anywhere. It's just all very well done, and yeah, so I'm just obviously excited to have this as sort of a start to my Nendoroid doll collection. Her sculpting is very well done on the hair and her twin tails. There's some nice shading to it as well. And I feel like the posability really helps sort of with this Nendoroid doll. I mean, I feel like all Nendoroid dolls are like that. They're much more posable than Nendoroids, of course. Obviously, the caveat to that is that they're lacking faceplates. You only really get one for this sort of figure. You can display it with other Nendoroids, of course, too. Like in this one, I have the Monarchy Miku faceplate in it, but it can be a little bit tricky to put the faceplate in, and I feel like her faceplate, like this default one right here, is differently shaped to some other Nendoroids, so it might be tricky to fit it into the head. But yeah, overall, if you really like Nendoroid dolls, I definitely recommend picking this one up. I think it's fantastic overall. And yeah, so I thought I'd also, of course, show the details of the clothing and the shoes and what she comes with. They're all very well done, and the paintwork on her backpack and choker are also very well done. And I actually pre-ordered the new Sakura Miku doll, so I'm very excited for that. So yeah, I'd say this is overall a great start to my Nendoroid doll collection. So the last figure I have is the only scale figure I have, and I think because some figures got delayed. But this is the Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid Kanna Finest Kimono 1/7 figure by FuRyu. So, starting off here with the box, it's a very nice clear plastic box. Yeah, I do like the little details on the sides. It's very nice and small, so it, hopefully won't take up too much room. And other side. Yeah, the top has Kanna's name, and I did kind of shove the instructions up there. And lastly, on the bottom, we have Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, the name of it. And yeah, so I was glad to pick this up for retail price because this is actually a re-release, and I believe when she first released in aftermarket prices, she was like 200 USD and over. So yeah, very expensive. I did have my eye on this for quite a while. It was on my wish list, and thankfully we got a re-release, so I was glad to pick it up for retail price. And yeah, so she's actually still available on AmiAmi for $113.55 USD. So I think that's fantastic overall for the quality you're getting. Definitely one of FuRyu's much more reasonably priced figures, I'd say. So I'll pick her up right now. So right here we have the figure herself, and she is absolutely adorable. I really love the design that they gave the kimono with all the flowers and even Toru with her dragon form on the front. And her hairpiece is very well done. Her face is absolutely adorable. It fits Kanna to a T. And shading, I really like the shading in the hair actually. You have some darker shades of purple to like lighter in the middle. So yeah, I'd say this is actually a very well done Kanna figure overall. Other accessories that she does have are actually the kadomatsu, which is this little bamboo sort of accessory right here. She also has this dharma of the girl who really likes Kanna. I can't remember her name. I think it's Riko or Rika or something. But yeah, it's quite a funny little piece that, I have displayed. There are magnets to these, so thankfully you don't have to worry about like the dharma like falling off or anything, which I think is nice. And overall, a very small figure. It won't take up too much space, which I think is very nice. I think I do like, figures that don't have unnecessarily large bases. And the Kanna herself, other accessories I forgot to mention is that she comes with a paddle that you can display her with, or she comes with also an arrow. I do like the paddle a little bit more, so I decided to display her with that. And I believe when this first released, there was a third item, which was like a shopping bag or something, but I think I'm fine without it. I do like these accessories a little bit more than that, but yeah, overall, I really love this Kanna figure overall. I was very glad to have her be re-released again and get her at retail price. And yeah, so if you are a big, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid fan and you missed out on this figure the first time, I definitely recommend picking it up for retail price because I'd say that, she's overall worth that price. So, a quick update that I want to give before I end this video, and that mostly has to do with my YouTube upload schedule. So, it might change from my usual, Tuesday every other week to Friday of every other week, or I might have to push it to like the week after that, so you guys won't probably get a video like until like 3 weeks or such. And that mostly has to do with the new job I got. I'm actually working all day, pretty much the whole day, and that's what I told them. I said I can work pretty much at least from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the latest. And, I said I can work, like, every day, and such, like, maybe not the weekends, but the type of job that I got definitely, requires some hands on deck and such. And I won't say where and what type of job it is, of course. I keep that stuff just sort of to myself. But yeah, definitely the hours help and such. So yeah, my schedule is going to be fluctuating quite a bit. Some days I get out the earliest at 2 p.m. So, hopefully I can just rush back here. Thankfully it's not that far of a drive, and set up and record a little bit before the sun decides to be a pain in the butt and just enter my room and cause a lot of glare. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to try and adapt and such. So I apologize for delays on videos, or if I'm talking just relatively quickly and I'm just frazzled because, I just want to try and get at least a little bit of recording in at the end of the day and just like slowly work on it, from there. So yes, I thank you all once again for your patience with my videos and now my new sort of schedule. But also, I'll keep you guys updated at least on the community tab, so I definitely recommend reading those if I am MIA for a little bit. So yeah, but that overall concludes this February and March figure haul. Definitely a whole bunch of different figures that I got, and yeah, I was happy to be able to share it with all of you. So let me know what was your favorite from these 2 months, and I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are, and take it easy. Goodbye!